What's going on, everybody? Humberto Hernandez here, American Profit Consulting. Felt it was appropriate to jump on here real quick and could just kind of give you everybody an update as to what's going on, especially in the world of finance. These last 24 hours have been pretty wild. I've been on the phone literally all day long talking to just about anybody and everybody in the industry in terms of, probably the most impactful news in the last 24 hours for business owners is that the Feds have cut their rate down to zero. So the Fed rate is essentially now at zero. Last week it was at 1.25%, and now it's 0 to 0.25%. And so what does that mean? So basically the Fed rate is the rate that the Federal Reserve lends money to to banks and lenders up and above their capacity of their own funds and deposits. So what happens is, banks and lenders would go out and borrow money from the Federal Reserve and then lend it at a margin, right? Of course, so that they would make money. Well, last night they declared that the Federal Reserve rate had been cut down to zero. And so what that means is now that effectively the Wall Street Journal Prime has also come down. So because it came down 100 basis points or 1 full percentage point, the Federal Reserve affected the Wall Street Journal Prime. So now the Wall Street Journal Prime is now at 3.25%, whereas like last month it was at 4.75%. So why? Why did they do this? Well, they did this because they're trying to incentivize business owners to go out and borrow money, cheap money, money that is more affordable to them, so that they can continue with their operations, so they can stay open, so that they can pay their employees. So essentially to help them with working capital or perhaps a line of credit or something like this that help them get through these troubling times, because we've never seen anything like this before. This is a new era of lending. It's a new era of business that we've never have ever come across in the history of the United States, for the Fed rate to be cut down to zero. It's just a very interesting time. And so that's what we're here for. I jumped out of bed, threw on a hat, my t-shirt here, and headed down to the office because I wanted to get started as soon as possible to try to help business owners and our clients, of course, navigate, this time that has never been navigated before. So lots of really interesting conversations. Essentially what I've heard all day is that it's business as usual. So that's the term I've heard all day long. I've called a handful of lenders. I've talked to lots of different bankers, and what they're saying is that in their meetings this morning, that everybody is saying, hey, it's business as usual, except for now, obviously there are lower interest rates. And so what I'm trying to figure out myself is what that's going to do to the borrowing power, and really if the lower interest rates are going to change a bank and lender's credit criteria. So are they going to loosen the credit criteria, or are they going to make it more stringent, right, and more complex to get approved for a business loan? I had a client call me this morning, and he's a client that we're helping with credit repair, and we're helping him kind of get himself into a position where he can be, bankable again. That's something that we do with a lot of our clients. And he called me, he said, hey, what does this mean? Does this mean that I'm going to be able to get approved for a loan? And I said, unfortunately not. Yes, there's more money. There's the SBA disaster relief fund or whatever it is. But that loan and those funds have always been there, except for in this case, it was because of other disasters, right? And so just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things going on. And so again, I just don't know how the banks and lenders are going to react. On one side, they are borrowing money essentially for free from the Federal Reserve, and of course they're lending it out. But on the other side, they're lending it out at a discounted interest rate. So interest rates are lower, so they're making less money on these loans. So that's what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, is the banks going to get a little more lenient with their credit criteria, or are they going to tighten it up because they're selling these loans at a lower dollar amount? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. And so, we don't know. In the next couple of weeks, more and more will be known for sure. At this point, that's essentially, it seems like business as usual, except for lower interest rates. So how does that affect you, the business owner? Well, in the past, if you had gone to a bank and they declined you because of cash flow, well, in this case, it could help you because now with a lower interest rate, that yields a smaller dollar amount, which should increase and it will help your numbers, right? So because you'll have a smaller dollar amount payment, you'll have a smaller annualized payment, which will help your debt service coverage ratio go up, which will allow you to be approved or go out and seek more financing, more than what you were probably expecting to get approved for on the first go around. So again, lower interest rate yields lower monthly payment, which yields lower annual payment, which should increase your debt service coverage ratio. So, we're here. Please give us a call anytime. We'd be happy to help if you want to understand more so and go into details, because, really this whole thing is affecting everybody a little bit differently. All business owners, different industry types, different credit situations, for example, a lot of our bars, restaurants, cafes, breweries are being affected, obviously, because of the news from the governor, that he wanted everybody to shut down. And so they're kind of changing their model, and they are seeking to see if we can get their payments deferred. Now, I spoke to a lender today who said that, they don't have a plan yet, but the consensus sounds like they're going to be able to defer payments for 6 months because their business has been impacted by the coronavirus. That's great. That's it doesn't get better than that, to be able to have, your existing payments, your existing loan payments deferred because of everything that's going on. So it seems to me like what's going on in the government, what's going on at the macro level and the micro level, is that everybody is kind of rallying around to try to help the business owner get through these times, so that, of course, on the other side, we can enjoy the world as we knew it before. I would highly encourage everybody that's watching this and listening to this to continue as best they can to support local businesses, because these businesses are what employ our friends, family, and neighbors, and so how do you do that? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do that. You can order pickup, especially from restaurants and breweries and different places like that. You can purchase gift cards for future use. You can shop online. Just continue as much as possible to live life as normally as possible, because the more that we change in reaction to what's going on, the more difficult the economy is going to become, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. So, of course, I say that, with as much sensitivity as I can possibly have, knowing that, everybody is going to have a different perspective on what's going on, but it seems to me like we're at the height of the panic, and which I'm absolutely thrilled about, so that we can get back to business as usual and back to our lives as usual, right? And so again, we're here. If you have any questions, if you need money for your business, there's a lot of money, new money that's available. Of course, we don't know yet how, it's going to work with credit requirements. There's some business owners who have always taken care of their credit, and so they're in a position right now to get, more money than they ever thought, because again, the interest rates are going to be lower. And they have, a phenomenal credit score, and so they're able to qualify for more and have better terms and rates. And then there are others who I spoke to on the phone this morning that we're going to get started to fix their credit tomorrow, so that when all this, finishes up and gets done, they'll be ready to go. They'll be in a good spot, and they'll, kind of dig their well before they're thirsty, if you would, to be ready for, to take on the money that they need for a loan, right? To be ready for this new economy that we're kind of coming into. So lots to talk about for sure. I can be on here for a good 30, 45 minutes and not run out of what to talk about. But please give me a call at any time. My phone number, my personal cell phone number is 619-200-0351. My office line here is 619-836-0267. So I guess the moral of the story is that if you have an existing loan, let's see if we can get your loan payments deferred. If you're in business now and you need some bridge money, some working capital money to get through this, call us, be happy to help. If you need to work on your credit a little bit to get it increased, if you need a 40 to 50 point boost to get you into a position where you're meeting minimum credit requirements, let's talk about that. Let's help you get there so that we can turn around a quick loan to kind of help you get you through this, these times. So you can pay for your employees, so you can, pay your overhead and get past this and get onto the other side of it and get back to business as usual in life as we know it. So anyways, take care. Have a great evening. Again, available. If you'd like to text me at my phone number, 619-200-0351. Of course, I'll text back. Email address is hhj@americanprofitconsulting.com or info@americanprofitconsulting.com. Again, there's a lot of things going on right now, a lot of moving pieces, interesting times, scary for some people for sure, and we're here to help. 619-200-0351. Thanks, guys.